Hi everyone, thanks for joining my session. Today we'll talk about deploying a WAR file on Microsoft Azure App Services. So assuming you have an application built, a Java application built and a WAR file deployed, and this is a sample application I just built, which fetches some blobs from Azure. Doesn't matter, but it's just an application. So assuming you have a WAR file, let's see how you can deploy the same WAR file on Azure App Services and run and test it. App services is something by Azure that comes along with the requested service that gets deployed, and you need not worry about setting up a virtual machine, configure the IP address, and things like that. So let's get started. If you look at my desktop, I have logged into Microsoft Azure portal. Click on App Services. I already have a sample app service running. We can create. Let's create one more. So click on Add. These are the default recommendations by Azure, but in our case, we are trying to deploy a Tomcat. So search for Tomcat. From Tomcat, select that. And if you see this on-screen details, you can click on Create, and give a name, obviously a trial subscription. You can create a resource group, and once you hit Create, it will create it for you. It generally takes a while, about 2-3 minutes, to set up a new app service, and you can also see that in your notification bar when that is up, running, and built. So assuming you have done this step, once it's done, you can see that service in your app services section. So let's click there. So if you click on the app service, the best part with this is it already gives you a URL and some other details, but all we need is this URL for us to deploy and test our application. There are some controls also to stop, restart, delete this app service, which anyway is Tomcat running on Azure's pre-built hardware. So let's test this URL quickly. So I have the Tomcat up and running. This shows that your Tomcat is up and running. Let's go here. So that's all you need. Just a simple clicks. You have your app service up and running, and you can use Tomcat the way you use for your application. And Azure takes care of all the deployments and server requirements. The only catch with Tomcat is that to deploy this application, of course, there are several options. You can go and log into the console from the command line, but let's do it from the UI. You need to log into this manager app. When we log into a manager app, we can deploy an application. But I'm able to log in because I have the login account, login credentials, but generally this does not come out of the box. So what you need to do is, as soon as you create this app service, open a URL. So copy this URL, whatever you have, and add SCM to that and hit enter. This way you will see a URL like this, a full URL like this, and it opens up your Kudu environment. Kudu is like your UI to manage the files, update, edit the files on your app service. Go here, go to debug console, go to CMD. This should show you the files that are there in your app service, because you're looking at this URL. So obviously all files attached to this app service are loaded here. To create a user for Tomcat, to access the admin console, you need to create a new user group, a role and a group. By default, they are disabled. So click on Sites, www.root, bin, Apache Tomcat, config. So under config, you will see this file name called tomcat users.xml. This is the file we need to edit. Click on the edit, scroll down all the way and add these lines. So by default, you will not have these lines. I've added this line. I've enabled a role and a username and what the role for that user. So just add it, save it, come back to your Azure App Service and restart your server. This way, Tomcat restarts with that permission set. And when you come here and click on a manager app, it would pop up the login and you can log in. Once you're logged in, so you have logged into your application. So click The way to do, and this is standard again, the way to deploy your application is really standard. So I'm just choosing my sample web application that I built. So this is a WAR file that I already have. So I choose choose that WAR file, and where is it? I guess I had to shrink this and hit deploy. So we're just deploying it to Tomcat. And from here, this is all standard Tomcat way of interaction, deploying an application on Tomcat. Nothing to do with your Azure. And any Java developer will be able to get this standard. So it does refresh the page, but it's not loading it up. What I observed is it takes like a few minutes to show that up once it's done and deployed. You can hit refresh for some time. After some time, uh, let's try that. Because Tomcat, the application need to deploy, explode. Generally, Tomcat also explodes the WAR file as well. So it takes a while to do all of this on the server. But once that is done, then you'll be able to test the application from the URL. So let's give it a little while for it to deploy the application. So it's still loading. It's not loaded yet. We should see it already started. May take a few minutes. There you go. So your application is up and running. So you can actually click here, which will take you to that application's URL. See, your application, boom, it's running. And I can also test my there you go. Boom. So if you see, my application is running on Azure's App Service, and this is the name of the application or your WAR file, for instance. So that's all. I mean, this is how simple it is. Just to recap, go to App Services, choose type for Tomcat, deploy, install it. Once you're done, come back to the app service, copy the URL, and once you click the URL, it will show you the default Tomcat's instance installation. By default, Tomcat does not come with an admin login user. You use kudu to create that user, restart your Tomcat, go back to your Tomcat instance, log into the admin console, deploy your WAR file like you generally do or regularly do on your Tomcat, and you can test it. So this is a brief overview of how you deploy a WAR file on a Microsoft Azure App Service. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed it. Do give me some feedback on what topics I can add more, like these quick topics that can be helpful for you. Thanks for your time again. Have a good day.